you for making it happen. Thank you.
That was a Hitler salute. That was a Sieg Heil that he just threw up. Here is a perfect illustration of what's happening right now. This is why it's not any of the things that people are trying to make up. This was a Sieg Heil. This was a Heil Hitler salute. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You see how Hitler puts his hand down here? It's the right hand, I think. It's how he puts his hand down here by his heart and then extends it outward completely straight with his thumb kind of underneath a little bit. This is how a Sieg Heil is done. He's doing it. I don't know how to be any clearer about this. There are some people who are a little more cryptic about it, like Laura Ingraham, who try to hide it a little bit more, but fail miserably. There's no audio to this, but just watch. Laura Ingraham talking to the crowd, and then full extend, thumb under. You're seeing this, right? What is she doing? What is this? And then she bends it and waves. And then she points to cover up the fact that she fully extended. This has been happening for a while. 2023, okay? Check this one out. Look, let me just continue on for a second and I'll talk about it more. Look at Steve Bannon talking about winning.
Here's why we're doing this today. You know, this great celebration of kind of American populism and nationalism. We have friends all over the world. This is a movement that is a global movement. We just won a massive victory here, and we're winning all over the world, right? Yeah. The next stop is Germany. I'll take.
Now, if you're listening rather than watching, let me just describe what's happening. He's standing in front of a crowd doing a Hitler salute, the Bellamy salute, doing a Sieg Heil, while talking about how they're coming for Germany. They're going to make Germany great again.
Yeah, sure. For Deutschland, people stand up. We want to give a shout out to you guys. All right. All right.
Does it get any more on the nose than that? How did we get here? That's nuts. This is some fallout from Elon Musk doing a Sieg Heil. My God, dude. How did we get here? How are we here?
IBM on Thursday said it had pulled all advertising on Elon Musk-owned X for now, after a report found its ads were placed next to content promoting Nazis. The report comes a day after Musk endorsed an anti-Semitic post on the social media platform.
It's not just that he's endorsing anti-Semitic posts. Here's another excuse, okay? I appreciate that IBM is not advertising anymore, but they are one of how many companies? And they are just now not advertising? Have you seen any of the other shit that he has done? Literally any of it. People have video of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sticking her hand up while she's talking, or Kamala Harris sticking her hand up while she's talking, in a situation that's very clearly not a Sieg Heil. But Elon Musk, his social ideology is identical to the Nazi ideology. Identical. They're indistinguishable from each other. He's even endorsing the new Nazi party in Germany, the AfD. It doesn't get clearer than that. AOC does not endorse a belief system in which a certain group of people should be targeted for deportation because they aren't pure, residents of the country, because they don't belong there. Seriously, because they're invading, because they're poisoning the blood, quote unquote. She's not advocating for that. She was never advocating for that. You know who is? Elon Musk and the guy whose inauguration event he attended when he did this salute. Oh, thanks. An apropos cup to drink from, the German flag. No, it's not just the German flag. It's the Volga German flag modifier there. Anyway. Bizarrely, people have been coming up with all kinds of justifications and excuses and everything. And people I would have never expected. You know, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, it's a New York-based international non-government organization. Didn't know they were New York-based. It's founded to combat anti-Semitism, as well as other forms of bigotry and discrimination. They have a website that's really, really useful for finding, they track hate groups. You can find a big list of hate groups on their website of, neo-Nazi ideology. And not just that, white supremacist ideology. They're really, really good. They're like the ACLU, But when the war with Israel, when the slaughter from Israel against Gaza started, the ADL said it is anti-Semitic to criticize Israel. And I know you're thinking, wow, that's like a little far. Like you're definitely taking that out of context, right? No. That's what they said. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. Maybe it was one lapse in judgment. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's continue on. And then they continued on to defend the far right nutcases, even going so far as to say about Elon Musk's salute, this is a delicate moment. It's a new day, and yet so many are on edge. Our politics are inflamed, and social media only adds to the anxiety. It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm. Not a Nazi salute, but again, we appreciate that people are on edge. It was a Nazi salute. I would think the ADL of all groups would be able to identify a flawless Sieg Heil. How is this escaping them? It's not, right? It's not escaping them. This is clearly bad faith. How else am I supposed to interpret it? I just finished writing a book titled Was Hitler an Atheist? It talks about religions during the Third Reich and how they work together. Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Protestants. And I even address the lies told by the evangelical world about Bonhoeffer. It's on Audible and Amazon. Okay, let's continue. In this moment, all sides should give one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath. I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, I believe the ADL said something to the effect of Nazis deserve no grace. And it's a concept that I pretty much agree with. We should give, Nazis, people that believe that others are inferior because of their race, because of who they are inherently, because of their blood. They act in bad faith by design. Like, ideologically, they act in bad faith. That's just part of the deal. Give them a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt. Give Nazis benefit of the doubt? No, thank you, ADL. I will pass on that. And take a breath. This is a new beginning. Let's hope for healing and work toward unity in the months and years ahead. You know what's so incredibly sad about this? They have Nazi experts on staff at the ADL. You cannot convince me that they did not know what Elon did was clearly a Sieg Heil and intentional. You cannot convince me of that. And you can't convince me that they didn't know that Hitler was called the unity candidate. Hitler was the unity candidate. I mean, he wasn't really a unity candidate, obviously, but he claimed that he was a unity candidate. He said, I'm going to unite Germany. I'm going to bring them together. And here we are on the other end of it with the ADL saying work toward unity. Really? I mean, we've seen all of the excuses coming out of the woodwork. Right hand to his heart and then to God. It's a common thing in church all across the country. No, it's not. You know what's a common thing in church across the country? I'll show you. This is a common Christian thing right here, what we're about to watch.
Lord, encourage them. Give them courage, your courage, to stand on the foundation, the rock, Jesus Christ.
See what they're doing there? That looks like a Sieg Heil at face value. It's not. That is a Christian thing. And it's weird and creepy and bizarre, and it looks like you're heiling Hitler or whatever, but okay, I get it. It's a Christian thing. This is not. That is not a Christian thing. And I can't believe that the ADL would debase themselves so much as to make excuses for a literal Nazi. I've also heard people say it was the Roman salute. Yeah, dumb. Who do you think is most famous for doing the Roman salute? I can't believe, you can't convince me that people are so fucking stupid as to really believe that Elon was not doing a Hitler salute. You know, it I guess is kind of comparable to somebody trying to imitate the American salute and throwing up this isn't an American salute. That's not how it's done. But you know what? If they did this, I think they were imitating the American salute. You bring, I think it's your right hand. You bring your hand up like this and put it to the tip of your eyebrow like that. That is what Elon did. Okay, that's what he did. He didn't throw it up like this. It wasn't sloppy. It was perfect. So I don't want to hear it. Elon did a Sieg Heil. If normal society knew what Republicans really wanted, if, the Republican legislators, if they knew what they really wanted, they'd never go for it. It's horrific. It's disgusting what these people want. A lot of these legislators and a lot of the bills that are being written are written by think tanks that are controlled by the same people or their children that were trying to fight school desegregation. It's the same people, the same line. It's not very trendy to be in the KKK today. So you join organizations that don't wear white hoods, but they carefully project a very specific public image that is respectable, and they spread propaganda that will get everybody on their side in the country. Let me just give you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. You guys probably seen, bumper stickers that say, kill your local person that takes advantage of children, to try to keep it monetizer friendly, right? People that take advantage of children are a scourge in society that need to be dealt with. Kill them? No. I mean, we should definitely protect society from them, of course. But that's a position that everybody agrees with, that we should deal with this problem in some way, right? But that's not really what they want to do, actually. What they want to do, the end goal here, is to target gay people, target the LGBT community, to remove them from society. If you're gay or if you're trans, in the best cases, you'll be fired from your job. And in the worst cases, even more horrific will happen to you. But they don't want to come out and say that. So they just demonize people that take advantage of kids and then claim that gay people are doing that, or that there's a higher rate of it with gay people or trans people or whatever. The point is that these people, if society knew what they wanted, they'd never go for it. They would never do it. We can see what Nazis are doing. And I'm talking like self-avowed Nazi, like people that claim the title for themselves. I am a Nazi, that kind of thing. We can see the policy positions that they want. And it's things like segregation and ending interracial marriage and even more conservative-leaning things. Now, people like, say, Jason Rapert, one of the legislators, or I don't think he's a legislator anymore, but one of the members of Congress, a politician, he doesn't come out and say, I am a Nazi, but he supports those things. He supports all of the policy positions that they do. He wants to play it cool. He wants to take it real slow and work the public into this position with him. Trans people are trying to push adult entertainment onto children in classrooms. Obviously, that's wrong. Nobody would want that. Nobody. It's not happening, though. But everybody can agree that that's bad. And now Ron DeSantis, for example, has a solution, a bill that will fix it. If you're in elementary school, 5th grade or younger, you can't talk about gay anything. You can't reveal that you're gay. If one of the students reveals that they are gay, you have to tell their parents. And he got it passed, the Don't Say Gay bill, and a bunch of other really disturbing things in that bill. So it starts at 5th grade, and then he expanded it to high school and added more provisions to it, made it even more difficult for people to just live their lives. That's just one more example. I know what these people want because I watch this stuff day in and day out. I know what these people are aiming for, and I listen to full-blown self-avowed Nazis tell me what they're fighting for and their reasons for fighting for it. And I just don't know how else to interpret it when I hear people like Jason Rapert, for example, come out in support of those policies that Nazis support. How am I supposed to interpret that? And you know what? One more thing, since we're on this subject. I did so much research into the subject, it's ridiculous, because I wrote a book about it. Was Hitler an Atheist? Check it out. Amazon and Audible. Anyway, let me tell you about the 3 arrows. The 3 arrows are the symbol that I believe that we should be using moving forward. In 1914, World War I begins, basically. 1913, somewhere in that vicinity. I don't remember now. And it rages until like 1919, November 1919, I think. And World War I was basically just like a war of aggression. They were just Germany, Austria really started it. After World War I, there was a collapse in Germany because they lost. France basically forced Germany to sign a new treaty and create a constitution and adopt democracy. During World War I, they weren't a democracy, they were a monarchy. He called himself Kaiser Wilhelm II. That was his name. And he was extremely popular. He went into exile after World War I, and the Weimar Republic came into being, which was the democracy with a constitution and everything. Germany was not really, they say that Germany had democracy forced on them. They weren't ready for democracy. But in the burgeoning democracy, I think I'm using that word right, a few political parties emerged. There were political parties before democracy, but their goals were limited to very focused, specific things. They couldn't, legislate just any old thing. Anyway, the Social Democrats emerged as an important contender. The first president of the Weimar Republic was a guy named Ebert. He was a Social Democrat, and their symbol was 3 arrows pointing downward, like this. I'm not actually sure when it started to be used. Here you go, 3 arrows. No monarchy, no Nazism, no communism. I believe they started to be used this way when the Iron Front started fighting against Nazism heavily. The Iron Front was the Social Democrats' militant group, like Antifa was the communists' militant group at the time. Anyway, I think it's time to start using the 3 arrows again. That was the only way that people had to fight against Nazism. They couldn't come out and say they were opposed to it, or they'd be taken to a camp. So anytime they saw a swastika, they'd spray paint 3 arrows over it. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments.